One of the best things about Peekskill is that you can actually get to the water's edge of the Hudson. You don't have to stand back and look at it. You can put your feet in the water, you can fish here. It's amazing. I started the Peekskill Herald in 1986 when I knew that I wanted to be a reporter, I wanted to write stories, and I loved Peekskill because I grew up here. I realized after it ended, when I sold it to someone and it closed a year later, I really wanted to do the newspaper again. 18 years had gone by, and I realized that there was new technology that would allow me to do the newspaper without actually having a print publication. I'm working with student journalists. I go into the high school, and it gave me so much satisfaction to go into the building where my dad taught journalism, and he taught English, and he taught filmmaking. And here, some 40 years later, I'm going into the high school teaching journalism and working with students who want to run it and learn how to write for a newspaper. That, to me, has been one of the best parts of doing this revisited Peekskill Herald. So you might remember that the Peekskill Herald, when it was a print publication, it covered sports, it covered lots of happenings in the schools, and we don't exactly cover sports right now in peekskillherald.com, but we have the same stories that we used to have. The stories about people, the stories about what's going on in government, and a huge issue in Peekskill now is the stories about development and about how buildings are going up and lots of decisions are being made, and we cover those meetings and we report about them with an emphasis on the historical perspective. We actually have a column now called Back in the Day, where some of the things that are written 30 years ago have relevance to what's happening now in Peekskill, and it's amazing to see some stories continuing and new facets of those stories that are unearthed in our new peekskillherald.com.